Hey, back at it again, and there is no way you haven't heard about hard mode in Digimon Story Time Stranger. The bosses will make you pull your hair out, and I'm going to try to attempt it with some of the weakest Digimon in the game, the Bug Digimon. Here are the rules. I can only use Bug Digimon. Was considered a Bug Digimon? If it looks like one. Second, no items during battle, except for one specific instance. Anyway, let's meet the stars of this show. We named the hero Agent Bugcatcher, and luckily we can pick up our whole entire team in this first dungeon. Our starter is Crashed, who obviously isn't a bug, but one day he will be. Then we have Adware the Tentamon, 404 the Wormmon, Ransomware the Funbeamon, Spyware the Kokoamon, and Trojan the Karamon. Which, before you argue, that's not a bug. Karamon is the Digimon representation of a virus, aka a computer bug, and has very bug-like features. I mean, look, Karamon looks like an ant, that looks like a spider, but that's a demon man, he doesn't count. So after collecting the whole team, we make our way to the top of the building, learn about cross arts, the super move we can charge up during battle, and have a really easy time with Kawagamon, and get caught in a time-breaking explosion. Landing in the past, we collect the rest of the main characters. Inori, the heart of the team, and Agiomon, the actual main character of the game. Dr. Simmons, an expert on Digimon. Now finally we have our first major boss fight. Adware is the Digimon with the strongest advantage against Greymon, and they do literally nothing.
It's strategy time.
Minervamon has a signature attack, Rolling Strike, which is super effective against Greymon, and we can make it even better. Acceleration Boost doubles the next physical attack of the target. So apply some Acceleration Boost to Snake Girl, and bada bing bada boom, watch the HP fall. Greymon's only defense to Minervamon is Roar, a move that lowers the party's attack, but we have Dispel, which removes all the buffs. So checkmate Greymon. And now we can finally digivolve into our champion states. Ransomware becomes Waspmon, Adware becomes Kabuterimon, Trojan becomes the Gokumon, Spyware Kawagamon, and 404 becomes a Sneemon. Minervamon then tells us about Titans, Digimon who are trying to take over the human world, and she needs our help to get back to the digital world. Well, we get her back, but now we're stuck here and we have to figure out a way to get back to the other side. Marukimon, the leader of Central Town, the area we landed in, would love to help us, but we gotta help him get rid of some Titans. So we travel up Central Tower and we find Herentmon. Hey, fun fact, this is my 5th time fighting this thing. Half of the team is weak to vaccine or electric attacks, things Paramon are really good at, and our super effective hits barely put a dent in the HP bar. Plus, Paramon's charge move, Molnir Thunder, is a death sentence. We have zero way of doing enough damage to break that meter, and not only does it KO most of our team, but if we survive, they end up being paralyzed, making them pretty much useless. But then all of a sudden,
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Well, better late than never.
Mercurymon's 1,000 Fists does major damage to Parrotmon, and once Molnir Thunder does eventually come out, using Acceleration Boost 1,000 Fists to deplete the entire charge meter, disabling the biggest threat in this battle. And now that Paramon is stunned, it doesn't take too long to deep fry the bird. But now that the fight is over, I'm pretty worried. We only beat Greymon and Paramon thanks to our mega level guest party members, but they aren't going to help us in the next couple of boss fights. Mercurymon sends us over to check the Volcanusmon, the leader of Factorial Town, but Ultimate Brachiomon is in the way, and they are annoying. They have this gimmick where half the time they are weak to only magic attacks and resist physical attacks, and then vice versa the other half of the fight. And I only have one magic attacker, Adware, and they go down in one turn. Thanks, Adware. Then suddenly, Spyware the Kawagamon depletes half of the HP bar with an acceleration boosted Scissors Claw, while still doing resisted damage. Well, I knew that Spyware being a virus had the advantage, but I didn't know they had that much of an advantage. But it's not too hard to figure out why Spyware was so strong. It has the ability Stout Strength. The higher its HP, the greater the attack. Once Ultimate Brachiomon switches its resistances, it's over by that point. Spyware finishes the fight with another Scissors Claws, but we then use Ultimate Brachiomon's body as a bridge and make it down to Volcanusmon, who thinks that we are Titans invading the place and attacks us. Great news, Volcanusmon is a data type, so Spyware could probably do major damage again. Bad news is, each fist that he has is either a vaccine or a virus type, and we have to go through 2 ways of them to get to Volcanusmon. But I have Ransomware the Waspmon. Ransomware has the personality skill Fortifying Charge, an ability that when the user heals another ally, that ally gets a boost to all their stats. And we recently just got the skill Aura, a recovery move that heals everyone on the field. You see where I'm going with this? Ransomware not only keeps the rest of the team healthy, but also buffs them up, so Adware and 404 makes easy work of all the hands. Finally, we get to Volcanismon himself, and Spyware once more does huge damage. But if that charge meter depletes before the health does, then we have to restart the 5th stage all over again, which I would really prefer not to. Trojan the Dogokumon uses one more acceleration boost on Spyware, and one more Common Hammer is enough to end this fight for good. Yeah, I guess my team can handle themselves. With Volcanismon defeated and the situation cleared up, we get another upgrade to the team, as now Armor and Ultimate Evolution are unlocked. Ransomware becomes Cannon Beammon, Adware becomes Mega Kabuterimon, Trojan becomes Infernmon, Spire becomes Okawamon, 404 becomes Arukenimon, and Crash with Digi Egg of Nod becomes Digimon. With the situation in Factorial Town taken care of, we can meet Junimon, someone with the power to bring us home, and she reveals that Adriamon is the Great Guardian. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious he's the main character. But before she can send us back, we have to take care of the digital world to make sure no evils get to the human world. So we go to the Abyss server, meeting the duo of Shellmon and the injured Titan Divermon. Shellmon's kindness changes Divermon's heart, and he guides us straight to Sharkmon. So this is our first major boss fight against the team. The Divermon is supposed to support Sharkmon, but unfortunately Divermon are data type Digimon. Our Virus Ultimate Digimon makes quick work of the flunkies, each of them falling to only about 3 hits, and Ransomware does their job with Fortifying Charge, supporting Adware 404 and Adriamon and turning Sharkmon into fish food. We report back to Junimon, and then we are sent to Gear Forest, meet Bacchusmon and Sirenmon, figure out that things are bad there too, fight some dudes, then report back to Junimon. Titamon breaks into the temple. Then everyone is sent into the human world as a desperate attempt to keep Titamon away from the power of Chronomon the hero. Adriamon digivolves to Agiochuzmon, Titan starts invading the human world, Dr. Simmons creates a system to stop the Titans and gives us a machine to jumpstart the entire system. And on our way to getting the power of Chronomon, Titamon takes it and it's time for a boss fight. Titamon plus Skull Baluchimon are evil incarnate. Literally each turn, if they do anything, if they literally just breathe, they gain a purple stat buff, which we cannot remove with our skills. And they have one of the worst super moves in the game. There is no charge time, so it's instant and afflicts the worst acid condition, Injured. The injured stat prevents any HP recovery. And then when you hit the second health bar, the warm-up is over. Skull Baluchimon drops and Titamon absorbs the power of time and becomes Titamon Berserk. And he can do this now. Yeah, that's right, he just stopped time and did unspeakable things to us. And that move also inflicts injured, so it never ends. And I can stop the second one with the device we got from Dr. Simmons, the only item we're allowing in battle. And once you do, it turns it into a regular charge move from that point forward, which sounds like good news. Well, it isn't. Once you stop him that first time, he gets every purple special buff in existence. This man is broken. Alright, within the first 30 minutes of this 4-hour ordeal, I learned that Restore takes care of the injured status. So I equipped Restore on everyone and their mom. We have been using Cross Art Field since Kawagamon, but for this boss fight, I have to use Cross Art Aura. Not only does it heal, but it protects my Digimon from stats effects for 2 turns. Once Titamon hits Berserk and gets to 5 CP, we are blocking like crazy. We can't stop that first super move, so we're gonna defend like crazy. After barely surviving, we throw down the item and start waiting for him to start his super move. Because over the 4 hours of getting beaten up like silly, I learned that the big super move is Titamon's biggest weakness. That's right, the cope is real. Titamon is weak to electric attacks, and Agiochuzmon has some interesting moves, including Lightning Pile, a move that reduces enemies' resistance to lightning type moves. So apply the Lightning Pile, season liberally, with my bugs using Nanomachine Break to eventually break the meter, allowing us to go into town on Titamon for an entire turn without worry. But just as we're about to defeat him, he starts to charge again, and Agiochuzmon has no more SP for Lightning Pile. I am freaking out. Reasoning is out the window. I am defending. I am healing. I switch back to Adware, because even though he has no SP, at least he won't get one shot from the move. Now obviously the best move would be, start attacking while Titamon can't do anything, but it's been 4 hours. My last brain cell's on the verge of taking a vacation. But that super move was Titamon's last super move. We survived and we finally defeat Titanmon Berserk. Oh geez, I need a vacation. Digimon absorbs the power of Chronomon, and we are then flung 8 years into the future, close to the time that Agent Bugcatcher came from, but not exactly due to our influence. Digimon are now a well-known part of the human world. Titans have taken over the digital world, pushing friendly Digimon like Marukimon into the human world. There is now an anti-Digimon human faction, and a lot of important characters from before have been displaced, like Dr. Simmons, who is now hiding out with Marukimon trying to help them. To save the world and all of time, we need to find the 12 legendary heroes. We go to the Abyss server and find out that Showmon digivolved into Venusmon. The boss Skullseedramon, who is just super tanky other than their head. So we wait until the head pops and then go to town. We find out that the Divermon we helped so long ago digivolved into Neptunemon. Then we fight Calamaramon, who is trying to poison all of the Abyss server. Well, when you have Venusmon as support and Neptunemon on offense, any fight becomes pretty easy. We defeat her, save the Abyss server, and gain the first 2 heroes. We then go to the Gear Force and find out that Witchmon is putting everyone to sleep so that the Titans can invade the village. But Witchmon is a data type, so we pull out the tried and true method of spyware in 404, showing her what's up. Now that we've stopped Witchmon, we go to help Sirenmon, who's defending the core of the force against Tyrant Kabuterimon. And not sure if this is a gimmick, but Tyrant Kabuterimon's signature skill, Shine of B, is an extremely powerful attack that decimates everything, but you can't move the next turn after using it. However, when you have 4 turns in a row, that cost doesn't matter, and this move wiped out my team multiple times in a row. The only thing keeping me alive was keeping my finger on the revive skill at all times, and the unstoppable team of Adware and Crash. Adware has been rocking the personality skill combo Magic. With this skill, Adware will sometimes use a magic attack twice. The lower Adware's HP, the higher the chance. Well, that's what it says, but in earlier versions of the game, there was a combo magic glitch. If a Digimon with this ability is overhealed, aka their current HP is higher than their maximum HP, then combo magic will always proc. Now this glitch has since been patched out because yeah, it is utterly broken and probably unnecessary, but we might as well take advantage of it while it's a thing. And how we're gonna overheal Adware? Let's talk about Crash to Digimon. Now, Digimon is a pretty bad Digimon. They barely do damage and is extremely slow, but we have been boosting its spirit stat like crazy because it has a personality skill, Great Embrace. With this skill, all of Crash's healing moves can overheal our team and make sure that Adware's combo magic always activates. Wow, if it's so good, why haven't we been using this broken setup this whole time? I have been trying. I wasn't kidding about Digimon being bad. Adware was the key damage dealer to Tyrant Kabuterimon, and in fact, when Tyrant Kabuterimon unleashed another devastating wipe that took out every single member of the party, other than a nearly knocked out Adware, Adware was the one to clutch up and show us who truly is the strongest Kabuterimon. But this isn't a happy ending, as Sirenman was completely drained after the fight, turning her into a plant, promising to come back, and Bacchusmon promises to watch over the plant until Sirenmon can come back. After the battle, we gain Bacchusmon as our third ally. We move to the Factorial area, which has been turned into a huge arena. The leader of the arena is Callusmon, the Digivolve form of a Bearmon we helped out a long time ago. But now we find out that he's a Titan, which doesn't seem right, so we have to find his little brother, Bearmon, who turns out to be the leader of an arena in the human world, now a Grapleomon. We beat him and tell him that his brother's doing no good, and Grapleomon joins us to confront Callusmon. As it turns out, Callusmon got his brain all messed up by the Titans, and now we have to go calm him down. Callusmon gets stronger as the battle progresses, so we easily breeze through the start. But all of a sudden, he starts one-shotting my Digimon like there is no tomorrow. I'm gonna keep it a buck with ya. Callusmon should have won this fight. Even when Grapleomon digivolved into Marsmon because of a brother's love or something, low HP Callusmon is just too much of a beast. A couple more Lost Forest would have done me in. But this Smoky Bear reject decided this was the best time to start his charge attack, and we were not gonna let that slide. A couple more hits and we end Callusmon's reign of terror, and Marsmon becomes our fourth ally. Next, we learned that all 3 sides, the humans, the Titans, and the good Digimon, are about to go to war. We try to intervene, but everything starts going bad. Marukimon dies, the ultimate weapon is unleashed, and another time-shattering explosion separates us from Agiomon and Inori. We go back in time and save Marukimon, but but Digimon and Nori are still lost in the time stream. But the show must go on. With Marukimon, we go to take back Central Town from the Titans. Venom Myotismon's supposed to be the boss fight for Central Town, but no gimmicks, no charge move. We have Marukimon, and this is the type of damage Adware is doing. Yeah, we are not gonna have a problem. We take out Myotismon, save Central Town, gain our 5th ally Marukimon, and now it's time to take the fight to the Titan homeworld, the Underworld. Upon visiting the Underworld, we find a Geckomon who says Plutomon has been acting weird and wants us to check in on. Well, he definitely doesn't look good. Zombie Plutomon has this weird effect that when you try to heal, you instead lower your max HP. This completely blocks out Great Embrace and Fortifying Charge, so that was fun to find out. Also, instead of having 1 weak point for his charge move, he instead has 4, each with its own charge gauge. And once he charges up, he heals pretty much up to full. We did find out that he's weak to confusion, but unfortunately we couldn't stand up to his weird gimmicks and get taken out. But we got the tools, so we come back with vengeance. If Zombie Plutomon is weak to confusion, then everyone's gonna know Panic Wisp. And it turns out that a confused Zombie Plutomon will try to heal himself, reducing his own max HP. But what truly does Zombie Plutomon in is Adware, using Spell Boost, a move that doubles the next magic attack of the target, and Combo Magic, which still has a chance to proc despite the lack of Great Embrace. Adware does the Fallen Titan in. So we take down Zombie Plutomon. That's kind of a problem, so we go once more back in time and stop this mysterious figure from turning Plutomon into Zombie Plutomon. And we learn the truth. Chronomon was no hero of the digital world, but a false hero trying to destroy the entire world by manipulating the Titans and good Digimon alike. And with that plot twist, we can finally get Megas. 404, the Arukenimon becomes Tyrant Kabuterimon, Adware becomes Hercules Kabuterimon, Ransomware becomes Tiger Vespamon, Spyware becomes Grand Kawagamon. Technically, we are able to evolve Trojan into Diaboramon, but again, Demon Man, so returning him back for now. Looking back on it, we probably shouldn't have digivolved him because he's now back at level 1 instead of being in the 40s. You gotta love retrospection. And Crash, being Crash. Dr. Simmons calls us back to help out Volcanismon, who has been kidnapped to help develop the super weapon. We save him, find a man and a robot, beat him easily since all he can do is paralyze our Digimon, which is extremely annoying, but definitely not unbeatable. We then get Volcanismon as our 6th ally, and he lets us know that Digimon has been helping the humans out with the massive super weapon, and it could be Dianamon. So we travel to the cosmic area where Dianamon lives, and we find a Pumpkinmon, a jolly little fellow who gets us through security and tells us that instead of trying to talk to Dianamon directly, who would leave us as popsicles, we should talk to Apollomon first, her brother. So we find Apollomon, but he's also pissed, so he attacks us, and Apollomon is crazy. He spams attacks that can hit everyone like there is no tomorrow. Breaking his charge meter is frankly impossible, and every hit hurts. The only reason we are living is because of B Cyclone. This skill puts up a physical and special barrier for a couple of turns. The number of turns being increased by 404's personality skill, Hustle Cry. I probably would have lost this fight 10 times over without this skill. We defeat Apollomon, who recognizes us from his time as a Coronamon, and we ask him to help us talk to his sister. He goes crazy again and rushes off to fight her. Oh boy. We follow Apollomon, confront Dianamon, who is not having any of his back talk, and we get into another boss fight. Dianamon's strategy is simple. Her signature attack, Good Night Moon, is an attack that puts everyone to sleep. She also puts us to sleep before charging so we can't break her stance. And if you look at her funny, she also puts you to sleep. Even though she is way more annoying than Apollomon, she isn't as hard. Sleep only lasts as long as the sleeper isn't hit, and Dianamon mostly uses AoE moves, waking everyone up. And for once, having a team full of viruses means that we resist most of her moves. Also, we have Apollomon. We defeat Dianamon, but turns out she isn't helping the humans. So the siblings make up and we travel to Junomon, who probably knows what's going on. We confront Junomon, but turns out it was a trap. Pumpkinmon betrays us and Junomon, who is now possessed, throws us into jail. But we're sprung by 404? Oh, no, it turns out it's the other Titans are here too, and we team up to get out of here. We find Minervamon, who's been trapped here too, and spring her out. And after the most funniest bit ever, we confront Junomon. In this battle, the temple will debuff the team after certain intervals, and that's kind of it. Our crossart pretty much negates the debuffs, and Junomon has nothing on Adware, who absolutely dominates this fight with combo magic. We defeat Junomon and break her out of the spell, gaining our 7th ally Apollomon, 8th ally Dynamon, 9th ally Minervamon, and 10th ally Junomon. Apparently, Chronomon took control of her, and we found out that Adriamon was created to destroy time and free Chronomon from his time prison. We return to the human world, and once more the super weapon is ready to be unleashed, and we have to stop it. We go to confront the weapon, but on the way we get transported to another time dimension, and we learn the truth. Adriamon, a being of time, can create essentially time clones when he time travels. Agent Bugcatcher is one of those clones, but was taken by Homeros, the god of this world, to help Adriamon. Despite Adriamon being creation of Chronomon, who is trying to destroy the world, Homeros still recognizes that Adriamon is the key to saving everything. And we look like what we do because we are based on Honori's little brother's favorite anime character, who Adriamon wanted to bring back Honori. We realize our destiny, become Jupitermon, and gain our 11th ally, Caceresmon, the Digivolved form of Sirenmon, and we turn out to be the 12th hero. We fight off the weapon, kick its sorry butt as Jupitermon Wrath mode, but in defeating him, all time and space shatters, but Honori comes back to us. Also, we find Digivolved Trojan to Armageddonmon, who I'm counting as a demon ant, and we finally have our full team. To get to Chronomon, we have to go through the memory of the 7 demon lords, recreated by Chronomon. They are all virus Digimon, and we have an Adware. None of these fights have a battle gimmick or a charge move, so it's just straight hands. Adware easily takes out Barbamon, Levimon, Lucamon, Beelzemon, and Belphamon. Yeah, it's probably a good thing the combo magic glitch got fixed, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Creepymon delayed its destruction by crystallizing Adware before Adware could take him out, and Lymphmon also crystallized Adware, except this time on turn 1. But that's why we have Spyware to pick up the slack. Finally, we've reached Chronomon, and my bugs are buzzing for action. The Battle of Chronomon happens in stages. Each stage we're teamed up with a couple members of the Olympus 12 and Plutomon, who was like the unspoken 13th member. With the insane power of Adware and Spyware supported by Crash, we quickly race through each stage. And then both the coolest and scariest thing ever happened. Chronomon digivolved our Digimon back to their in-training stage. Despite their slimy baby forms, they still have their personality skills and they still have their boosted stats. So Adware the Pabumon keeps on with magic attacks, Spyware the Metal Koromon keeps on with physical attacks, and Crash the Poyomon keeps on healing. Every time it hits Adriamon's turn, he slowly gets us back to our final form, so we go down memory lane, seeing Armadillomon, Kokoamon, and Tentamon, then into Kabuterimon, Kawagamon, and Digmon, then Mega Kabuterimon and Okawamon, and finally into Hercules, Kabuterimon, and Grand Kawagamon. At this point, Spyware is completely drained of all of its SP, so we retire him one final time, grateful for everything he's done for us, and bring in Trojan. Once the charge meter appears, we bring in Ransomware, the Tiger Vespamon, who is way more effective than Crash in bringing down that meter. To save SP for Adware, we bring in 404 as well, making sure that all of our bugs get a piece of the action. We break the meter, it's time for the final hit. Let's go Adware! What the heck was that? You quit embarrassing me. What the heck? I mean, Adriamon, it's a whole you. We combined all of our powers and defeat Chronomon once and for all. But because Chronomon was defeated and he was the Keeper of Time, there needs to be a new Keeper of Time. So, Adriamon sacrifices himself to be the Keeper of Time, but releases Agent Bugcatcher for his last mission. Watch over Honori as he restores time and gives back to Honori the little brother she lost so long ago. And with that, we have somehow beaten Digimon Story Time Stranger with Bug Digimon on hard mode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace!